Time tu yang that train scene tu kan, aku macam it would be a bit more dramatic kalau both Sancaka and Awang are at the last car.
Oh,
there are more cars at the back.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Sancaka boleh je like lompat on.
I'm sorry.
Serious lah. Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of Nois Stuff. I am Sufyan.
I am Azman.
And this is
Mr Faqihin.
Yeah.
And who is Muhammad Faqihin? You're the co-writer kan untuk Ejen Ali The Movie.
I'm part of the writing team.
Part of the writing team.
part of
So
the writing
he's the story guy lah. Dia orang yang pakar cerita lah, aku boleh cakap.
Damn, pakar cerita.
Pakar cerita.
That's why he's here with us today.
So today we're gonna do
A movie review of
Gundala.
Yay! Yeah, so
That's how it goes,
to those who are not aware of the movie, Gundala ni movie dari Indonesia. Jadi
an Indonesian superhero.
Indonesian superhero movie.
Yeah.
Nusantara superhero movie, and then it was out like August 29th. Like,
August?
Kepala otak kau August atau
December.
It was like towards the end of December. What's the central topic that we're gonna talk about Gundala today?
Well, I mean, if you ask me, nak cakap pasal how I think it's a very good film, and at the same time, it has its flaws.
Okay.
And I'm excited to see what happens next.
Oh, nothing is perfect. So we watched something. It's great, but it can be better.
Yeah.
The movie is directed by Joko Anwar.
Joko Anwar.
The budget of $2.11 million. So currently it's collecting around 4.78 million as of today, I think. So that's what it says. And so far on IMDb, it's collecting 7.5 out of 10, which means it's a decent score lah, I suppose.
It's a decent score.
B minus or B plus, I don't know.
B plus.
Yeah. So, first impression when I actually came into this with zero knowledge. Apparently,
Yeah.
So apparently dia ada comic
Yeah.
It was based on a comic.
It was based on a comic 50, 60 years ago.
In the 60s though.
Yeah, in the
It was
60s.
based on a comic from 1969
Yeah.
by Harya Hasni Suraminata, 1969. So
That's quite some time ago.
Yeah, that's like quite some time ago. So this is quite something like, meaning the lore of this this character and the surrounding is pretty established. So my first impression, the only thing I know about Gundala was the poster.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And that's the only thing I knew about it. And the next thing I knew about it was Brown Palare is attached to the movie.
Yes.
And then lepas tu, itu je aku tahu pasal movie tu. And the fact that I just heard or I just read somewhere that dia cerita pasal superhero Indonesia. And the only thing I thought at that time was, gila hebat sebab dia nak buat their own. Okay. I'm going to compare. They're gonna make their own MCU sort, right?
It's called BCU.
BCU, Bumi Langit
Cinematic Universe.
Right? So I find that interesting. And then some of the films from Indonesia has been, I think, in my opinion, on the rise also ever since. I mean, I'm not really a big follower of Indonesian films, tapi stuff like Raid, those are all like kick-ass stuff. And then from there, some of the actors have been here and there. Internationally. One of which is Star Wars.
I do.
And John Wick 3.
Yeah, John Wick 3. So aku lupa nama dia. He was also in Wira.
Cecep and Yayan, Yuhan.
Yeah, cari nama dia.
I mean, in this film it's Cecep. There's two people. Cecep is in this one, while Yayan is in Wira. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry if I butchered that name.
Yeah. Maaf ya. Jadi the poster pun nampak badass gila lah. It has that. Okay, again I'm gonna compare. Macam ada aura-aura Batman sikit.
I mean, he has those ears too.
Okay. So upon coming in with zero knowledge, what's your first impression out of it?
Well, I mean, I didn't came in with zero knowledge lah. Sebab like a little bit of backstory. Sebenarnya, I'm actually writing my own stuff. And I was researching about Nusantara stuff.
Oh, so that's how you came across this?
Yes, like when you Google Nusantara stuff, like I just Google Silat, hero, whatever, and then comes out all of this material from Indonesia, and it's not just Bumi Langit. There's this other film, I forgot what's name, but so yeah, that's how I became hooked on it. And
Okay.
then,
When was this whole research thing?
early of last year.
I see.
So I was
early last year,
pretty
I see.
aware. Of
So you're pretty aware of what Gundala is about and all that stuff.
But by that time, the movie was already announced.
And yes, it has already been announced, but tapi tak on the surface level lah, because kita kat Malaysia kita tak boleh dapat buku dia kan.
Yes,
And then they even had a movie back then.
I heard about that.
They had a movie before
Like
this.
a very cheesy 80s movie.
It's like the Japanese Spider-Man or something.
Yes. So macam tahu sikit lah, like know enough. And so I came to this film knowing a lot lah, enough to appreciate the things. Like, did you know that kan when you go into the movie, there's this tiba-tiba this one random cool kid teaches him how to fight.
Oh yeah, I
Awang.
think his name Awang. Awang.
Aku ingat nama dia sebab nama dia senang nak ingat.
Awang. So sebenarnya he's actually a hero.
He's a hero too.
It's a setup for him.
Spoiler alert, yes.
Spoiler. But for Indonesian fans, diorang tahu.
Diorang dah tahu.
Diorang dah tahu.
For Malaysian viewers yang into this,
Totally in the
Awang
dark.
is going to be Awang will return in the next film.
And his name is Godam.
Godam, like
Godam.
hack. Or,
Godam.
I don't know what I don't know what it means in
Yeah.
Indonesia
So,
in bahasa Indonesia,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
in Malaysia Godam means
Means
hack.
hack. Yeah,
So
hacking,
for a while there I thought he's like a computer guy, but it might mean something else.
But Awang didn't seem like a computer guy at all.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
So
Go down.
Yeah.
Godam. So I loved it. Tapi I can honestly say, from my personal experience, there's no way that this film was filmed with the final script. Faham tak? Maksudnya you can tell that they had limited time. So like when I was seeing that, alamak.
Boleh faham lah, boleh
I
faham.
can feel the pain. No, cukup, no.
So a bit of Gundala, if I can summarize it in my own understanding and based on my memory, is about this guy called Sancaka. Sancaka, it's a cool name.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Nama dia best gila. Dia apparently ada power.
Apparently.
So he's like the Indonesian Thor.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought too, with the lightning.
Because
and
with
stuff.
the ears and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a story about. The story is like Batman Begins sort of thing. It has that Batman Begins vibe. Even the score has that Batman Begins vibe also, especially bila dia dah establish dia punya
I think even in the whole mood and macam apa lighting.
Yeah,
semua.
the has that Nolan Batman
That Nolan
feel,
vibe, yes.
right? The whole movie is about us as a viewer. We're gonna be with Sancaka and how he grew up in a quite a f***ed up place also lah. Quite a
Oh
fucked
man,
up-
that place so up,
quite a
man.
f***ed up sort of environment, and how he grew up lah. I mean, having spoiler alert. I mean, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Bapak dia dah mati, mak dia pun hilang,
Mak dia
kena
hilang.
tinggalkan, kesian gila. So and then he ran. The first few hour of the movie is basically him running, kan?
Yeah.
Running away from this, running away from that, running away from this, and then someone was about to take him on, some rich family, and then he ran away from that also, and
Yeah.
then that's when the transition goes into him
In
dia
adult.
dah besar, then dia kerja jadi Pak Gad ke benda tu,
Pak Gad, yeah.
dekat Jakarta Post.
Tapi even then he was still like getting chased though.
Yeah. So Sancaka ni kononnya he's good at tinkering.
Yeah.
So it was established as a kid lah, but it wasn't really shown too as much when he's an adult version. Adalah dia tukar budak tu punya
Punya headphone. He fixed it
But
damn
yeah,
fast though.
so Sancaka maybe dia tukar jadi headphone lain juga.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
right?
that
I have a spare
So
one.
it's basically the life of Sancaka from when he was a kid or when he grew up, along with the other Pak Gad, nama dia Agung tak silap dia.
Oh, yeah, Pak Agung.
Pak Agung.
Yeah.
So he's like his Alfred kot, tapi yeah, whatever
Sort of.
happens to with him towards the end of the show. So it follows Sancaka, and then we're also shown as an audience the whole world. It is in Indonesia. It is set in
Yeah, it is set in
Indonesia.
Indonesia.
Yeah, it shows from a point of view of the lawmakers, the politicians, and then we're introduced with Bron's character, which is
Amazing. He was Braun was
yeah,
Hands down.
Pengkor. Yeah, his name is
Pengkor.
Pengkor, which in bahasa Indonesia it means limp. So that's why he walk with a limp.
Pengkor means lame.
In bahasa
Oh, because he
Indonesia,
was
I
like
think.
walking like
Yeah, he's like walking with that, and karakter dia pun ada backstory tau. So
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
dalam movie ni kita dapat tengok backstory Sancaka and backstory
Pengkor.
Pengkor, which is for me it's a bit overkill lah. Tapi but okay, sure, why not? Because I think that whole establishment of the story sort of take away the excitement at the end of the movie. That's what I thought.
Boleh faham
Because
lah.
at the end of the movie, they wanted to introduce to a lot of other characters. Yeah, like Penko punya henchmen.
Yeah, the orphan assassins.
The orphan assassins, which I thought they're really cool. I thought they're really cool, especially.
But they're so unhinged, man.
Especially the guy with the topeng.
That guy was pretty cool, man. He was so creepy.
Yeah, that was the chap kan. But they were just brief.
I kind of don't get it why that if they're so brief, then why didn't they cast stunt people to be the orphan assassins instead? That's about maybe because the cast are like Joko Anwar punya people or something. You know how directors have their team. But I kind of wish that all of the orphan assassins were played by real stuntmen,
right?
Not just Cecep. So that way you will be well paid off lah, because you know it's a well martial arts film kan.
What do you think of the fighting scenes though?
Okay, so in this film, macam hands down best lah. It's something that you come to expect from an Indonesian film.
Okay.
Ever since the Raid, and they have a very established stunt team. Tapi it's not more of a negative comment, but it's more like a concern because because you're not sure yet, because this is their first movie. Tapi kita tak tahu cerita ni what are the laws of the fight in this movie, because when you see the comics, like you see Godam looks like Superman, so is he going to? He looks like Superman. I mean, you can Google him now.
So it has nothing to do with hacking then?
No. Sorry to disappoint you.
I mean, he can be huge and still hack, I guess.
I don't know. I kind of don't want to find out until I see the movie.
He does look like Superman.
Yeah, he does look like
dude,
Superman.
yeah,
So what?
He has a G on instead.
So like imagine it like a video game lah. Like when you play a Superman game, it's different than when you play a Kung Fu game. Faham tak?
Okay, faham.
So where's the logic in that? So I'm concerned. I'm not complaining, but I'm concerned where will it go from there, because faham lah. By the day it's filmmaking, and sometimes we rely on the things that we can do now. So dalam cerita ni pun dia dah establish, spoiler alert, Sri Asih.
Yes.
Sri Asih pun
I thought she just came out
of nowhere.
Yeah. She came out of nowhere. I knew she was coming. And I wanted to see that. Like storytelling wise, you know it's not good, tapi I don't care, man. It's Pavita Pierce.
I suppose you were fanboying in there. But
she is pretty.
Yeah. And I love the Sri Asih's design lah. It's very Nusantara.
Very Nusantara,
But in the film they water it down a bit. In the comic it was more like she was wearing that crown. I forgot.
But she still have that ear.
Yeah, just the earpiece. But tapi dia tak ada crown or pakai kebaya.
The original one she's
sort of like, bukan kebaya, I don't know. It's an Indovision.
I don't remember what she wore, but
I remember she had a scarf.
Overall, I feel that when I was watching the film, maybe because we were already being fed with the Hollywood formula kan. So I wanted to move on from that establishment so much. Because 1 hour into, we are still in this whole
world building
and character building.
Yes.
Like Sanchaka is still not.
He's not Gundala yet.
He's still not sure who he is. So he's still like macam meddling about with whatever that he has. You know. So I was probably, as an audience, masa tu I was like losing my patience a bit. I was wondering where this is going. Maybe because I came in with zero knowledge. So maybe because I'm already a bit too dah dimanjakan dengan the Hollywood treatment of things, of how the storytelling, like how things are established and then build up and then climax at the end. And I mean, having full awareness that this is definitely going to be more movie out of this one movie. So towards the end, I know there's going to be more, but the build up towards the end felt a bit long to me. I just felt that it's a bit too long.
I mean, speaking of the build up, like again, I watched this movie. I think when you mention Hollywood influenced films, what I love about this movie is that it knows who they are. Macam buka-buka dah cerita pasal orang orang Indonesia, orang Jakarta ada masalah kerja macam okay, this is like we can relate to this.
Yeah, definitely.
So they know who they are because we all know that Cucak Man didn't work out. So you'd be surprised how people tend to not focus on who they are on films.
Yeah.
But having said that, it was surprising how the Nusantara elements was brought up very late into the story. FYI, if you saw the opening, somewhat of a macam MCU punya opening.
Oh yeah, they had all the characters. Yeah.
Did you notice that you have this skin tight wearing characters, and then you have this Nusantara macam hikayat Melaka wearing heroes.
Okay.
Itu sebenarnya, if I'm not mistaken, in the comics there's two generation. One is from zaman dulu like, si buta dari gua. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. Tapi he's basically the blind martial art guy. And then you have Gundala. These are the faces of the own generation. So as someone who knows a little bit about the world, when I saw that, so that's how they're gonna guide these two gens. So immediately I thought this was very fresh. Very fresh. But terkejut lah dia bawa. Dia reveal pun tu agak lewat untuk the
Anyways,
so let's talk a bit about Sanjaka. So okay, I'm gonna go from literal what I see, and then maybe we can bring our discussion deeper. Look wise, I mean he doesn't have that the actor, I'm not sure nama dia lupa, but he doesn't have that typical hero good looking guy look.
He's not Chris Evans.
Not Chris Evans, whatever, but he doesn't have that. But after a while I sort of grew into him. So macam aku macam okay, right, maybe because just to create that realism of his profession and his surroundings, so it's like up place, and then he has to look equally
he needs to look fun.
He looks like that kind of guy. So so that's dari segi literal, dari segi luaran. And I think it seems like he knows a bit of martial arts, or at least he showed
as an actor.
He knows a bit, or maybe he's gone through the training. Well.
Did you notice he had his own like style, like he was shit like.
So I have no idea what he used, but it was quite kind of interesting the way that he used some of those, like the one that you said. So and then he's kind of brooding here and there also lah. Tapi he helped. He seems like the wrong guy, wrong time sort of thing, especially with the pasar scene.
Definitely.
And he had to like help out. So overall, I think Sanjaka okay lah, good. I mean, as a guy, as the main dude, what do you think?
I love the kid more.
Okay, so you like the kid Sanjaka more? Okay. Because a bit more tragic, you think?
Yeah, I mean, like when I watched it, I thought that the director Joko was going for more of a I mean, it's not a real term, but I call it manga style storytelling, where thing just moves along. There's no real setup and payoffs.
Right.
So okay, I'm down with that. So I don't mind how it's funny how you say there's no payoff. So I'm aware that okay, for some people tak boleh ni, especially for mainstream audience. So it's no surprise when you said that lah. So I was down with that. But then, okay, I'm done with this kid. I care about him, and then the fact that Awang left him. Okay, maybe the director wanted to say that this kid can get hurt, and then he runs, and then tiba-tiba match card dah jadi besar. I'm like, wait, where did the kid go? Where did the kid go?
You wanted more exposition on the kid lah.
Didn't even have a scene where they dah like approaching Akil Balik.
Terus
grown ass man.
It was like very muscular, like whoa.
It was like, you worked out.
We worked out.
Time tu yang that train scene tu kan, aku macam it would be a bit more dramatic kalau if Awang and both Sanjaka and Awang are at the last car. There are more cars at the back.
Yeah. So it's Sanjaka boleh je like lompat on.
I'm sorry. That's what I saw. I'm sorry. That's what I saw. They were at the last. If they're at the last car, then that would have been. Then him getting left behind would have been more dramatic, and
More
I could somewhat accept that 100%. And it would be nicer, just for story's sake, that when they're on the way to the train, they were stopped by some gang along the way. So, but this is that scene, that whole thing about Awang leaving him happened after a dream of sort. Sedaka mimpi
then
bersama
he
dia.
woke him up.
And then Awang woke him up, and then they went to the train, and then dia ketinggal. I'm like, for me, I look at that scene, I was like, oh, tu lah siapa suruh ngantuk. So, and then he got left behind. Yeah, but that a few scenes I thought it could have been presented, or the situation could have been used better, like just to cater to the story a bit more.
Noise voice.
Dia siap masuk parlimen lah. I'm not sure if Indonesian has parliament like us.
Oh, I don't know how they.
Macam masuk parlimen.
Yeah.
And then saya tak mau anak saya masuk neraka. Fuck, macam tolonglah someone tell me. I really love this movie. Someone in the movie tell me directly to the camera. Okay, it works like this. Okay,
Izinkan saya berhujah. Saya nggak ada anak, tapi jika saya ada anak, saya nggak mau dia jadi enggak memoral.